deputies number.
400.
That unit, I can't copy your unit number, you're muffled.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun now! Drop it! Hey! Drop the gun! Drop the gun now! Drop it! Drop the gun! Drop the gun now! Drop it! Hey! Drop the gun! Drop the gun now! Drop it! Shots fired.
We are learning more tonight about the fatal shooting that happened at the Main Event Entertainment Center in Highlands Ranch.
Drop the gun!
That was the scene when Douglas County deputies arrived, eventually shooting and killing 23-year-old Jalin Seabron. They say he did not respond to commands, and they say the video shows that. This was all after a shooting occurred inside the popular venue on February 8th. 7 people now facing charges after a fight started in the bathroom there. As that crowd left the building, that's when officers responded. Your reporter Kelly Worthman joins us live from where the chaotic scene played out. And Kelly, the family has been asking for the release of this video for weeks.
And now the video that we have for the Douglas County deputies' body cam, as well as the dash cam and security footage from this building, it really gives us a better picture of what happened that night in February. But the Douglas County Sheriff, as well as the family of the man who was killed in this parking lot, well, they have very differing takes on what those videos reveal. Dashcam video released by the Douglas County Sheriff shows the hurried response to reports of a shooting at Main Event in Highlands Ranch. And the deputy's body camera captures him armed with a long rifle as he approaches 23-year-old Jalin Seabron, who's holding a gun.
Hey! Drop the gun!
What happens next, says the Dougco sheriff in a video released by the agency, was a split-second life-or-death decision when Jalin didn't drop the gun and the deputy shot him multiple times.
They acted courageously to protect the public.
There were shots fired. People were leaving.
But Jalin's family's attorney says that's false and says the pre-produced video released by the Dougco sheriff is a mischaracterization of what actually happened that February night.
Doing stuff in slow-mo, leaving certain things out, having these voiceovers where they're adding argument and sort of color when you don't get the benefit of actually hearing what's going on, just doesn't do the facts justice.
When looking and listening to the raw body cam and security footage he's posted online, Glover says it's easy to tell Jalin never pointed his gun at anyone, was trying to protect those in his car and leave like everyone else, and didn't know he was being approached by law enforcement.
The officer doesn't identify, there's no siren. He just says, drop the weapon, and literally within, probably not even a second after he looks over his shoulder, he fires 9 shots out of an AR-style rifle.
Glover says the deputy's failure to identify himself is a violation of Dougco's policies, and shooting the 23-year-old 9 times in the back is completely unjustified.
You don't just roll up and shoot on sight if you see somebody with a weapon. Having a weapon is not illegal.
Now, it is important to note that we've reached out to the Douglas County Sheriff to answer questions that we have about the release of this video, but they declined an interview, citing that there is an ongoing investigation. I also asked the family attorney if they plan on suing the Douglas County Sheriff's Office or if they have plans for filing a civil lawsuit. They said that hasn't happened yet, but it is likely to come. Now, if you would like to see both versions of the videos that were released, we have a link for you to watch them both at cbscolorado.com. Reporting live in Highlands Ranch, I'm Kelly Worthman, covering Colorado First.
Kelly, thank you.
Investigators are piecing together a chaotic scene that broke out Saturday at an entertainment center in Highlands Ranch. One man is dead after being shot and killed by a sheriff's deputy. A woman who allegedly fired the first shots inside that building was in court today.
Denver 7's Christian Lopez breaks down what happened and shares reaction from the man's family.
Officials first rushed to the scene after getting reports of an active shooting incident here at the main event. When they arrived to the scene, they said they found an armed man in the parking lot.
Yeah, it was packed. There were a lot of patrons still here when the shots rang out. Very dangerous situation.
According to Douglas County Sheriff's deputies, the man in the parking lot failed to drop his weapon despite multiple commands from officials.
The male continued between two vehicles. At that time,
officials later realized another woman had been shot in the chest inside the venue. They arrested Nevaeh Crowley Sanders in connection to that shooting. That victim, who was shot in the chest, is expected to survive. Amberly Taylor says the man who was shot and killed by law enforcement was her nephew Jalin, who was celebrating his 23rd birthday that night.
Jalin is the most respectable, poised, calm child I've ever known. So I just don't understand how he got combined with this at all.
She tells me her nephew did follow officer commands, but was still fatally shot.
He was told to turn around by eyewitnesses, and that's what he did, and that's when he was shot.
Taylor also says she doesn't believe her nephew knew the female suspect.
As far as I know, it was two completely different situations.
Crowley Sanders was in court Monday morning, where we spoke with Douglas County District Attorney George Brockler.
You can imagine that senses are heightened, and we'll see how it plays out in the parking lot when a sheriff's deputy encounters an armed guy. We'll get a chance to investigate that and look at it.
Taylor says she believes that video will show her nephew did listen to deputies before losing his life.
I'm hoping that that'll show that he actually did follow commands, and that him following those commands is what ended in his life being taken.
Officials believe that everyone who is involved in these shootings has been contacted and there is no threat to the public. They are urging any witnesses to come forward. Reporting from Highlands Ranch, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
I'm investigative reporter Natalie Chuck, and all day long we have been watching and rewatching body camera footage that was released by both the Douglas County Sheriff's Office as well as the attorney representing a family of the man who was shot and killed on February 8th at the main event in Highlands Ranch. We want to walk you through it, but we do want to warn you, some viewers might find this video disturbing.
23-year-old Jalin Seabron can be seen leaving main event after the original shooting happened inside. Seabron is seen holding a weapon in his right hand. A deputy arrives on scene and roughly 10 seconds later, after yelling at Seabron to drop his gun, shoots him multiple times from the left side. Seabron died. The video released by the sheriff's office provides two vantage points, one from the deputy's dash cam and one from the body camera. It also includes narration where a spokesperson says the deputy was, quote, faced with an immediate threat to his own life and the safety of those in the crowded parking lot. Seabron's family's attorney argues differently, saying Seabron did not know there was a deputy behind him. The deputy's sirens were not on. He did not announce himself as a peace officer, which the attorney points to as a violation of the sheriff's office's use of force policy. A woman who is Seabron's stepsister was arrested and charged for the shooting that happened inside before the officer arrived.
The attorney reiterated the Seabron family absolutely intends on suing the sheriff's office. For Denver 7 Investigates, I'm Natalie Chuck.
They want you to believe he was just another statistic, another name, another story twisted to fit their narrative. But Jalin Seabron was so much more. He was the light in any room. He cared, not just in words, but in action. If you were hurting, Jalin noticed. And let's talk about personality, because Jalin, oh, he was silly and had unfiltered, unapologetic joy, because he lived in his purpose without fear. He was part of a brotherhood who lived by this truth. You're a king. You're a king. You're a king. Our community will not let you rewrite his story. Jalin Seabron was loved. He was human. He was a father. And he deserved to live.